Hey everyone, so you probably already know Soundcore is the best when it comes to pure value for money. Liberty 3 Pro, Space A40, Liberty 4, all bangers. But to their latest release, the Liberty 4 NC, retailing at $99 US, continue this streak. Well, today I'm going to be going through all the nitty gritty details, comparing them to tons of earbuds, because as usual here, we're going in depth. So let's get into it, starting with the amount of options of colors you get. My favorite is the light blue. That's kind of my color here with the channel. But you got your pinks, your whites, your blues, your dark blues. It's all there for whatever color you're feeling. And Soundcore knows what they're doing when it comes to comfort. A40 and Liberty 4 were great. The Liberty 4 NC continues that. There's no suction or pressure in the ear canal. These work well if you have large or small ears. I tested these on my girlfriend and she had no issues apart from complaining about the buds being a little bit chunky, which they are. They're a pretty chunky earbud, but the way the ergonomics work, they should fit most ears pretty well. Now, when it comes to how secure the buds stay in, when I was exercising, when weight training, my only issue is the buds would budge out of place slightly when bench pressing or moving my head around, leaning forward. Definitely no way they're gonna fall out. And when running, they worked pretty well. Very minimal body-borne noise from the impact you make on the ground and hearing your own breathing. The transparency mode does let a bit of wind noise in through the microphones, but it's not too bad. If you like using your earbuds when training, these also have an IPX water resistant rating, fine for sweat and splashes of water. Now, battery life, this is a pretty impressive one here with noise cancelling off. You get 10 hours from the earbuds, 50 hours in total. That comes down to 8 hours from the buds and 40 hours in total with noise cancelling on. And in my test, it's 60% volume. With noise cancelling off, I got 9 hours and 52 minutes. I thought I had noise cancelling on when I tested, but the in-ear detection automatically turned it off. But still expect 8 hours with noise cancelling on. Fast charge is impressive here. Chuck the buds in the case for 10 minutes. You're gonna get 4 hours of playback. You can charge the case wirelessly. The only issue here is the case is a bit of a chunky one. It also requires you to press the button on the front to open the lid, which is kind of fun to do. Soundcore always seems to go for unconventional ways of opening their cases. You got the button here. Most of their cases are sliding lids rather than just a regular opening lid. And you just get the one LED indicator on the front. A full light is above 60%. A shorter light is 20 to 60%, and below 20%, it'll flash red. Now, when it comes to controls, these use regular touch controls, great sensitivity, and you get almost full freedom to customize it in the app, so you can add everything you need: playback, ambient control, and volume control. The only limit you have is you can't input ambient control or voice assistant to the single tap. Apart from that, you can customize them fully. They have in-ear detection as well, and it works okay. Sometimes my music would instantly pause when I take one bud or both buds out of my ears. Other times it takes about 3 seconds, sometimes up to 5 seconds. It'll also turn ANC off if you take one earbud out, but if you do want to use ANC in one ear while you leave the other earbud on your desk or whatever, you can do that as well. And if you're just using one earbud while you leave the other in the case, you can also use noise cancelling in the one ear. You just need to go into the app when you have one earbud connected to your phone and change the ambient cycle. Not only that, but you can also customize the controls when you are just using the one earbud. So whatever controls you save in the app to that one earbud, that'll save separately to when you're using both earbuds at the same time. When you are using just one earbud at a time though, something missing here, and this is with most Soundcore earbuds, is mono mode. So for example, if you're using just the left earbud, you're only going to hear the left audio channel. Using just the right earbud, you'll only hear the right audio channel, not the right and the left. So you may miss a little bit with whatever you're listening to. And this is the same with the A40, Liberty 3 Pro, and Liberty 4. It's a bit of a Soundcore thing, but what's continuing on here is Bluetooth 5.3, SBC, AAC, and the high-res LDAC codec. And LDAC will give you a couple of % improvement in sound quality. You're also getting multi-point connection, so you can connect 2 devices to these earbuds at the same time. I tested this on my iPhone 12 Pro and MacBook Pro M1. You just need to pause playback on one device before you play it on your other device. And it takes a couple of seconds, like switching from my phone to my MacBook, only like 2 seconds. Then switching from my MacBook back to my phone would normally take about 8 seconds. So a bit random there, but it works. Now, latency when watching videos, completely fine. These do have a low latency gaming mode, which is also going to tweak the sound ever so slightly, kind of increasing the bass, mainly mid bass, and boosting the treble a little bit. And here are the results I got in my test on both iOS and Android. For casual games, 400 milliseconds is okay. You want to get closer to 200 milliseconds if you're into faster reaction games like shooters. Now, all Soundcore earbuds that I've tested have very decent call quality, so let's head outside and see what the Liberty 4 NC sounds like. Recording off my iPhone 12 Pro, so you get an idea of the noise going on around me. All right, so starting the test here with the AirPods Pro 2, known to have one of the best microphones, so now let's see how they compare.
All right, so here is the call quality of the Soundcore Liberty 4. There goes a massive bus, but hopefully you can hear my voice well, and the noise around me is getting blocked out. It's also a little bit windy here at the moment.
All right, before we talk about noise canceling, if you're enjoying the video, please chuck a like down there. It really does help the video out. Now, how I test my noise canceling, I chuck on my soundbar and I'm playing simulation plane and crowd noise, as well as just random music. So I'm getting low, mid, and high frequencies. Now, the Liberty 4 NC have what Soundcore call Adaptive ANC 2.0, a step up from the A40's 1.0. So similar to the AirPods Pro 2 and the Bose Quiet Comfort Earbuds 2, these will adjust the noise canceling not just based on the environment around you, but also your ear canal shape. So this does mean the noise cancelling will affect everyone slightly differently. And they do advertise 98.5% of sound blocked out. Brands always advertise certain decibel ranges and all that kind of stuff, but that doesn't really matter to me. What matters is the actual testing. And here is my noise cancelling ranking with all the earbuds that I have tested. The Liberty 4 NC is in the tied 5th spot, the Galaxy Buds Pro 2. So these are now the new sub $100 noise cancelling champion and Soundcore's strongest noise cancelling bud that they've ever released. Because when it comes to low frequency sounds, they do ridiculously well, just as good as the top ranked earbuds. So when my plain noise test completely blocks out that low frequency hum of the engine, but that higher frequency hissing sound from the plain noise test does get leaked in a little bit. Now in the crowd noise test, this is where pairs like the AirPods Pro 2 and Bose QC2 really start to separate themselves from the competition. They just block out those high frequency sounds and more inconsistent sounds a lot better. But the Liberty 4 NC, well under half the price of those earbuds, they come pretty close. Now when it comes to EQ shift, this is how your sound quality changes with noise cancelling on compared to off, compared to transparency. It's good to see here, very minimal EQ shift on the Liberty 4 NC. ANC compared to transparency, pretty much the same. When you turn noise cancelling off, there's about a 5% treble and bass reduction, so not too noticeable. You do get tons of customization in the app, so you have a manual mode to adjust the strength of the noise cancelling, adaptive so it'll automatically adjust to the environment. And they have a new environment detection mode, which will adjust the noise cancelling to the environment around you. An example I noticed here was when I had noise cancelling on, I was going for a walk on a quiet street, then I walked to a busier road, then you hear a quick beep in the earbuds, and the ANC is supposed to adjust to that new amount of noise. And I tested this a lot. I didn't notice any difference in the noise cancelling strength. So that's just me. So you can just turn this off, which is what I did. Turned it off. Finally here, these have an automatic wind noise reduction mode, which you can turn on and off in the app. And how this will work with noise cancelling or transparency on. If the microphones pick up any wind, it'll actually block out the noise so you don't hear it coming in, but it will start to turn the transparency mode off or the noise cancelling down. And speaking of the transparency mode, this is like the only real bad thing I have to say about these earbuds is the transparency mode, not very good. Now, Soundcore has never been known to have the best transparency mode, but out of all the Soundcore earbuds I have tested, this is definitely the worst. Whether you're using the fully transparent mode or the vocal mode, it's still pretty hard to hear voices like right in front of you, even if you're not in too noisy of an environment. And sounds in the distance aren't very audible. Everything sounds a bit weird and a little bit muffled. You can get much cheaper earbuds with a better transparency mode, such as the Earphone Air Pro 3 and Soundpeats Capsule 3 Pro. I'm hoping this will get fixed with a firmware update. If it does, I'll just chuck a comment down below. Now, before we talk about what's most important, sound quality, let's quickly touch up on volume. So low level listening here is good. You still hear a decent amount of bass and treble at the lower volumes. And if you want loud volume, you're all good here. For me, above 70% starts getting too loud. And a brand new feature here in the app is called Safe Volume. So here you can see if the volume that you're listening at is causing hearing damage. You can also set a limit to the volume. Great if you have kids, so the max volume can only get so loud. And you get some pretty useful information in there about loud volume exposure. Now onto the sound quality itself. These buds are using just one 11mm dynamic driver, but it's pushing out some seriously nice bass boosted goodness. And this is Soundcore's bassiest earbud out of all the Soundcore buds that I have tested. And the bass is a standout. I like my bass, so I'm liking the sound here. It hits deep, you get that nice mini subwoofer in your head feel. I'm rating it a solid 8 out of 10 on my subwoofer scale. So it's boosted a decent amount, but it's not over the top. Same with the mid bass, it's boosted right before the point of being bloated or muddy. And this kind of bass you're getting shines with electronic music, EDM, trap, hardstyle, dubstep. But if you like metal, rock, classical, instrumentation, it's still not too over the top with those genres. Definitely not balanced though. The mid-range is great as well, boosted just enough so vocals cut through the bass, and a clear, natural, but definitely not the most forward mid-range out there. The treble is dialed back slightly. You do need to compensate somewhere, so you don't get that sparkle that Soundcore is known for, but what you do get is a smooth treble response that still has really nice detail without getting harsh at all. Which, at least for me, with previous Soundcore earbuds, Liberty 4 and Liberty 3 Pro, I really had to bring that treble down in the EQ with those earbuds, where with the Liberty 4 NC, no issues at all. And this great tuning they have out of the box allows you for some great customization in the app, which you can do with the EQ, the presets, or the Hear ID sound test. With previous Soundcore earbuds, the Hear ID sound test never really did anything for me, but the test here has been changed ever so slightly. You do a hearing test first, and then you run through a preference test. So I find the combination of this actually worked with what I like to hear really well. So for me, it brings the treble up, brings the mids down slightly while retaining the same nice bass. These don't have spatial audio, which the Liberty 4 had, but they do have 3D surround sound, which honestly didn't really sound very surroundy for me. It kind of brought the bass down and increased the treble a bit, and it sort of closed in the sound. I don't think it just didn't work for me. I don't know, maybe it'll work for you. And there's also a new feature called sound leakage compensation. So I think this is supposed to adjust the sound in case you don't have a proper seal in one ear, or one ear doesn't seal as well. For me, I played around with the earbuds, like kind of didn't have one fully in my ear canal and see if it would change the sound, but I didn't notice any difference. Again, maybe just for me. Now, I've already seen a lot of confusion online with the naming here. Liberty 4 NC, Liberty 4. Is it an upgrade? Is it a downgrade? Is it the same thing with stronger noise canceling? Well, I was pretty confused myself as well, but think of it like this. The Liberty 4 NC, their main focus here is with the noise canceling, and they do it really well. They've just got the one dynamic driver, not a dual driver setup like a Liberty 4 or Soundcore Liberty 3 Pro. So both of those earbuds do sound slightly better, mainly when it comes to the treble, but honestly, the Liberty 4 NC have a bit more of a bass boosted tuning, but they get super close in terms of overall sound quality. Compared to the Space A40 though, they were a little bit lacking when it came to bass. They sounded decent, but Liberty 4 NC, much better. You get a fuller bass response and just a richer sound overall. Now let's compare these buds to the best of the best from other brands. Now we'll start with cheaper buds and go to more expensive earbuds. First, Edifier W240TN. They have a more balanced tuning, but I like the 4NC. I like my bass, it's a fuller sound, and you get tons of extra features, stronger noise canceling. Liberty 4NC get the win. With the Earfun Air Pro 3, these actually have a pretty similar tuning, but Liberty 4NC just does it a lot better customization, where the Earfun Air Pro 3, you really have to customize the sound. They start sounding a little bit weird when you do that. Again, 4NC, stronger noise canceling, more features. Now, buds in a closer price range, we've got the Sony Link Buds S and the Sennheiser CX Plus. Both have a more balanced tuning out of the box, so to say whether or not they're better depends on what kind of tuning you like. You can probably tell Liberty 4 NC I do like better, and feature-wise, Soundcore get the easy win. Now, compared to a pretty old bud, but still up there, the NeoBuds Pro. NeoBuds are a little bit more dynamic when it comes to mid, bass, and treble, so super close when it comes to sound quality. The 4NC does have better app support and slightly stronger noise canceling. Now, compared to the JBL Live Pro 2, in terms of sound quality, this is a pretty close one. They both sound great. They have a great bass boosted tuning, but I am giving the win to the 4NC because you can get them a bit cheaper, better noise canceling, better app support. Now, compared to the One More Evo, slightly more expensive. They do have slightly stronger noise canceling, but sound quality, I'm giving the win to the Liberty 4 NC, and the app customization is much better as well. Now, compared to the Nothing Ear 2, slightly more expensive. Noise canceling, the Liberty 4 NC get the easy win. Transparency is better on the Ear 2 though, and sound quality is better on the Ear 2, especially if you like a more balanced tuning. You get good customization though, but if you like your bass, you gotta go for the 4 NC. But wrapping it up here, at the price these are at, Soundcore has done it again. You're getting every feature, great noise canceling, great sound. The only issue is the transparency mode is not the best, but for the price these are at, these are 100% worth grabbing. Now, be sure to watch this video here that YouTube has kindly recommended you specifically. So check that video out. In the meantime, stay picky. I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.